Hi everyone, today I'm going to have another go at making a bloom in this beautiful mould, and we're going to be using a different resin that I haven't used for years, and that is the Fast Cure from Let's Resin. So let's see if we can do a bloom using that. So what we've got to use obviously is this spectacular mould. This is from Pouring Your Heart Out, and it was a gift from the lovely Joanna at Lucille Creations. We've got the bloom paste from Pouring Your Heart Out. Bottle's getting a bit tatty, as you can see. I've been using this a lot. And we've got some inks from, these are just the excellent alcohol inks from that massive alcohol ink set that Let's Resin do. It's a 64-piece set, if I remember rightly. So I've got an aqua colour and an apricot, which really ought to turn into mud, but we'll see. I've got an empty squeezy bottle because I am rubbish with piping bags. So we've got that as well. And let me introduce you to the resin. Like I said, I haven't used this in forever, but this is the big box it came in. So let me put this big box to the side. This is the complete kit, and I'll show you what came in it. Right, mixing pots. Gonna need at least one of those. Let's put 3 out, but these are a good size. They're what I'd call half pint ones. Is that technically correct? I don't know. But yeah, good size. They're really good. These little pots are awesome, aren't they? I love these little mixing pots. Those are just great for when you're pouring small stuff and trying to get detail right. We have got a little set of resin dye. They're all like little diddy sizes, and there's all the colours you'd want, especially purple, in there. So that's a lovely little set. And we've got a stirry thingy. Excellent. We've got gloves. A little bit of information and the contact stuff from them. So we've got gloves. Might actually use those for a change. And we've got some pipettes. Always useful to have some of those. And finally, we've got the resin. Here it is. As I say, I think I was just going back through my videos, and I got back to about 2 or 3 years ago. Can't forget exactly how far. It was way back since I last used this. And at the time, I could only afford little tiny bottles, but it looks as if I was impressed with it at the time. Thank you, Let's Resin, for sponsoring this video by sending me this lovely good size set, which will keep me going for a while, even with those big moulds. It's a 1-to-1 mix. It can cure in 4 hours. Depends how warm your room is, how big and deep your pour is. You can really only go up to about 3 centimetres maximum though. So yeah, it's not really for big casting type pourings. Oh gosh, these gloves are big. I didn't realise how little my hands were. I'll probably switch to my other gloves shortly, but if anybody's got big hands, I must have really small hands. When you've got big hands, the gloves that come with these kits, don't worry, they're quite big. I can't remember how much this mould takes, to be honest, but I'm going to mix up quite a bit. I'll probably do this full pot full, more or less. It's 1-to-1, so dead easy. That's Tracy proof, because I don't do measuring, as you know. My brain doesn't work. So there's 100 somethings. What's that? CCs. Yes. And top it up. Same amount of part B, which is, I believe, the hardener. Anybody who's not used epoxy resin before, yes, it does come in 2 parts. I've been asked a lot lately, do you put hardener in it? Yeah. Part B is usually what they call the hardener. Some bottles actually say hardener on them. Your part A is your resin, and your part B it's effectively a catalyst. It's your hardener. And we're going to stir. Shall we use their posh stirrer? I like this stirrer. I have to say, that's a great starter kit. You just need to add, basically just need to add moulds. So, the instructions say, yes, I read the instructions. I know, that's not like me, is it? Anyway, the instructions say stir in one direction slowly. Now, this is a much thicker resin, so I'd imagine it's very easy to get bubbles into it. So I'm going to be good. I'm going to stir very slowly. Keep going in one direction, making sure I get right down into the corners. Now, can you see it's got a kind of streaky haziness to it? We're going to keep stirring until that's gone. And then, apparently, we let it sit for 5 minutes for any bubbles to dissipate. I haven't warmed this up. You can. You can use one of those. I've got the Let's Resin heating machine. It's a proper dinky little thing. It's lovely. But it's quite warm in my room today, so I haven't felt the need to. But you can use those, and that will also help to reduce any bubbles. Well, there we go. That appears to be crystal clear, not too many bubbles, and mixed. And it is a higher viscosity resin. Did I say that earlier? It is. It's a higher viscosity resin. So I fully expected to get more bubbles than that. I haven't even watched my video back from way back when, so I thought I wanted to just come at this cold now. I've got more experience. So I can't remember, other than thinking it was fab, I can't remember what I actually thought of details like the viscosity and such before. Now, there's going to be a bit of a waiting thing happens now. First of all, I need to separate some of this resin into another pot because we're going to be mixing up some white separately. Don't know how much I'm going to need, so I'm going to go for about that. That's what's going to go in that squeezy bottle ultimately. That's a bit more. Probably won't need that much. I can always mix a bit more if I need to. But in the main pot, I need this to get up to temperature. Now, this is where Pouring Your Heart Out's video from about a year ago came in handy. Was it a year? Was it 2 years? A while back, anyway. But she let the resin get up to 20 degrees first. I'm just going to take these gloves off because, yeah, I don't want to get resin all over my temperature gun. I've got one of these ones, and it is in centigrade. No, that's Fahrenheit. Okay. Now, Juliet Pouring Your Heart Out checked her temperature at Fahrenheit, and at Fahrenheit she wanted it to be at around 104, which clearly it isn't at the moment. That's 40 centigrade for anybody who's working in centigrade. I would do this in centigrade, but I don't know how to switch it over. I don't use this very often, and I can't work out how to switch it over to centigrade. But yeah, this has got a way to go. Now, as you know, resin gets hot as it starts to cure. We need to leave it a few minutes for the bubbles to come out anyway, but I will be periodically checking on the temperature. And once it gets to something like clears the 100 anyway, in Fahrenheit, that is when I will be getting the mould back in place and we'll be doing some pouring. See you later. Right, it's up to temperature now. That does feel warm. It's kind of hovering around the 100 mark, so I'm going to go for it. Yeah, that's runnier. So that heat, that extra heat, has let this get quite a bit runnier. So we don't want too thick a layer. I think that's going to be just about enough. I'll see how much is left once it's spread out to the corners. Now, the next thing to do is to mix up some bloom paste. That might be too much. Let's scoop some out. You only need a little bit. You want it kind of milky rather than solid colour, I believe. So I hope that's not too solid. I don't think so. I think that's okay. So this is getting warmer too, but I haven't worried about checking the temperature. But let's get that colour mixed up, the white mixed in well. And I think that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's about right. I'm then going to pour that into my little bottle. And as you can see, this is just a little, I just bought a load of these little bottles. I've got them in black in case I wanted to use them with ultraviolet curing resin. As you can see, that resin has definitely gone a lot thinner as it's warmed. Resin does, doesn't it, initially before it starts to cure. I don't want to leave it much longer because it might flash cure. So let's go with that. Right, let's pop a top on. So that's ready to go. Inks are the next thing. Where have they gone? Right. And I think I want orange in the middle, fading to this aqua at the outside. Let's Resin inks are awesome because they don't tend to fade. I can remember ages ago, Daniel Cooper doing a load of kind of testing, and these were the ones that stayed the most colour fast. And I think it's pretty much all he uses nowadays. I think those are quite healthy big blobs because obviously this is a big mould, so I'm putting big blobs. And then I'm going to go for orange in this, well, apricot in the centre. Oh, that's not been opened. I've now got it all over my finger. And let's go, oops. I'm putting quite big squirts here, as you can see. Don't know whether that's a good idea or not. This all looks a bit pale, doesn't it? I think I might go around with another. Let's give this a better shake, actually. Heck knows what these colours are actually going to come out like, because they are two colours that are, being pretty much opposite sides of the colour wheel, could go really horrible. You're probably now all going, too much ink, Tracy, too much ink. Sorry. I'm going to leave that to sit for just a minute. Apparently I don't need to wait for it to get up to temperature again or anything like that. Just leave it to sit just for a minute and try and pop those little bubbles. Now, I've put alcohol on this now, haven't I? I should have done this before, really. Because you don't want to be using a torch. Try not to scratch the mould in the process. Should have done this before. This isn't working. Just trying to lift those little bubbles out. Oh, well, if I get bubbles, I get bubbles. I can top coat it and get rid of those anyway. So just letting that all spread and settle for a minute. If I use my torch on it now, it's probably going to go up in flames. So wish me luck. Be very careful when you sprayed alcohol. For a start, this resin does not give off VOCs. I've been testing. But alcohol does give off fumes. I have to say, though, these alcohol inks must have It must be very light on alcohol, because this doesn't really seem to set off my VOC monitor at all either. But anyway, now you can swirl this around. I don't know if I want to do that. So let's just go in with the white. It's making a strange effect on the surface. So let's see if this works. Now, I'm just going to do a swirl. I'm going to keep this very simple. We're just going to swirl. So if anybody like me struggles with those piping bags, I'm just rubbish with them. But a squeezy bottle, yes, you're probably going to end up sacrificing your squeezy bottle. You can try and clean it out with alcohol, of course. Now, am I doing these too close together? Tell me, people. I'm going to take them out wider as I get towards the edge. Yeah, I've got loads left in my bottle still. So what I'm going to do now is go in and out of the crinkles of this beautiful mould, like so. Do I go round again is the question. I've got plenty left. It's starting to bloom. I can see it going. You see how this colour's going in the centre. So what we're going to do now then is get my little pointy stick. This is actually a micro brush that's had the fluff pulled off. It came off by accident. But look, you end up with a pointy end that isn't too sharp, and it is plastic. So I'm hoping I won't scratch my mould. And what I want to do is, this is starting to do something. So I'm going to start in the centre, as near as I can find to the centre, and do this. And what you do, this is a Daniel Cooper trick as well. Oh, isn't that pretty? You pull right up to the edge. Oops, only straight, not like that. And over, and then wipe your stick off. And that way you get it go right up to the edge and you don't get a blob. See? So I've just broken the end off my stick. Never mind. These shaped moulds do make this a lot easier, because you know then where you're aiming to with your lines, don't you? So you can get them fairly even. And then in between, we're going to go in, which of course you are going to end up potentially with a blob in the middle. So you just have to come out quick and twist like that as you come back out. So you just twist so it doesn't drip. Still will a bit, but it's a lot better. We're going to do a little swirly bit in the middle anyway. Now I'm not touching the mould. I'm just skimming, halfway down into the resin. And the mould is by nowhere near full either. It's probably only about half full, because of course we're going to want to put a backing coat on it. So I'm going to go away and think about what backing coat to put on this shortly. I think something dark, because that tends to make it highlights the white, doesn't it? There we go. So those should be reasonably even. So yeah, some are fatter than others. It is what it is. It's amateur hour here. As you know, blooms aren't really something I've never been any good at it for a start. Should persevere, shouldn't I? And we're going to just give it a little swirl in the middle. That's where a couple of those bubbles are, actually. Let's see if we can. Yeah, sort of. Right, so we've got that swirled. And now I'm just going to give it a quick flick over with my little torch. Should be flammable now. The alcohol will have evaporated off. Now, I don't like using torches that fiercely. Oh, it's doing something odd. I don't like using torches that fiercely on, particularly on posh moulds. But as I said, this is one of the pouring your heart out moulds, and I see Julie doing that with a torch very similar to this. So, yep, should be all right. Right, I will see you later. In the meantime, I'm going to leave this on time lapse so that you can see what it does. I've just chucked some in there as well, so we've got a bloom splat. Anyway, yeah, this is pretty much, well, I think it's okay. It's sticky now. It's still far from cured, but I think it's gone far enough to get our next dollop of resin in. Now, I'm going to do a very dark colour on the back, which I'll show you in a moment. But just a tip for you, I always suggest that you mix up your resin first before you add your colours, because then you can see whether this stringy, cloudy look has gone or not. It's really hard to know if it has, if you put your colours in before you get it stirred up. So I would do it this way around. And there we go. That's pretty much clear. Might be a tiny bit of stringiness left to it, but you can basically see that it's close enough. And of course we're going to do some more stirring, but do you see what I mean? Just make sure it's pretty much stirred before you go putting your colours in. Just makes life a bit easier. You can be a bit more reassured that it is mixed that way. Now, what we're going to be putting in here is some colour from Create and Bloom, and this is called Almost Midnight, which is the most very, very dark I think I'm going to use this stick. Very, very dark blue, almost black. See how far that goes. Because it's a pigment paste, you don't need much. Oh, look at that. Isn't that lovely? And I think I might put a tiny bit of fine purple glitter into it or something as well. That is gorgeous. Let me go and find a glitter. Oh, hang on. I know what I could use. This is a transparent colour as well. Isn't that beautiful? Probably just looks like black on screen, but can you see where I'm rubbing it up the side there? But I've been and dug out some laser glitter, which I'm not quite sure really what this colour is. It's like a bronzy colour. But I thought if we put a little bit of that in there, I did think about putting some Super Sparkle White in, but then kind of decided against that. Oh, that's pretty. Bring that over to the camera. Oh, nice. Let's just mix that in. I mean, I don't want it to be solid by any means, but that colour is gorgeous. I just wanted a little bit of sparkle, and that looks perfect, doesn't it? I put a little bit more. Let's put a little bit more. I can't remember where I got this from. I think it was Amazon. If I can find the link for it, I'll put it for you. And links for everything else, of course. It'll all be down in the video description. Now, don't forget, this is part of the Bloom collaboration run by some amazing resin artists. Some in this collaboration are very, very well respected Bloom creators. Others, like me, are people having a go. Success or fail, who knows? But it's going to be an amazing collaboration. So don't forget, at the end of this video, I will be putting you the link to find the rest of the videos, the entire playlist, so that you can go and have a good binge watch. I know I will be. I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone else does, especially the experty ones. I'll also pop the link down in the video description just in case you miss it at the end, so you've got plenty of opportunities to grab that link. That's nice. I like that a lot. And that is nicely just up to the brim of the mould. Yes, that's nice. Let's put a blob on the back of this thing over here. Just see what happens. But that, I think, will give just the level of intensity of colour that I was after. Because I wanted it dark. I didn't quite want it black, but I wanted it close. And I did want just a little bit of shimmer to it. So I think we are there. I will see you for the demold. Cross everything for me. But yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Right, here we go. Shall we see what's happened with this blob first? It's just a blob. Okay, it's a pretty blob. But it's a blob. I might find a use for that because it's so thin. It's bendy still as well. I don't know. I'll find a use for that. Right. Let's get this out. I did end up leaving it overnight anyway, even though it's a fast cure because, well, it was bedtime. So it is very, very cured. Back looks sparkly. Right, let's try and do a dramatic reveal. Oh, I don't know if I want to look. Right, here we go then. Yay! It bloomed. I don't know whether it's the perfect bloom. I don't know whether you'll all think it's fantastic or not. I'm just pleased it bloomed. Oh, I've got some marks on it. If I can sand those off. Must have been something on the mould. Darn it. But it bloomed. Right. We have a piece. I might sand that lightly and put a top coat on it. But look how glossy and nice that resin's come out. I'm pleased with that. And it worked a treat. That higher temperature did seem to be the way to go. So thank you for that information. Pouring your heart out. Now, as I said earlier, this is part of a collaboration. There's a whole load of lovely artists doing blooms. So do go and check out my friends' videos. The link will be coming up here at the end. It'll also be in the video description. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone who has chosen to subscribe. You know, that's free, but it means an awful lot to me. Makes a big difference. And I do. I just said do. I do appreciate it very much. So thank you all of you. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye.